Okay, I'm going to do a quick video, a training video. Again, I'm not sure how many people this resonate with. It just got a load of screenshots when I put it up on my Snapchat Q&A there a couple of days ago. So basically about eccentric training versus concentric training. What's the better training program? Again, anyone that's following me on any of my social medias, Snapchat particularly, you know that there is no one size fits all. It's purely based on your goals. It's based on your specifics. Same with your nutrition, supplements. There is no one size fits all for things. It's about context, what fits into your lifestyle, what works. In terms of concentric and eccentric training then, for anyone that doesn't know, eccentric training is like the negative, the lowering part of a movement. So if I'm using a bicep curl as my example, eccentric is the lowering and the concentric then is the bringing it up in positive. What one's the better one to use? Okay, so if you read up any research and any papers that are done on this, you're going to see that eccentric, the negative training, is going to elicit more fiber tears. That's probably the ideal way to go, because the reality is the more fibers that you're tearing, the more elevation in metabolism you're getting, the more your muscles have to repair, which means they'll grow back harder, bigger, stronger. So obviously, negative training is going to be the best bang for your buck in terms of tearing fibers and looking better. That being said, there's a place for concentric training as well, for eccentric training, because it's harder to bring a fucking movement up. Like, if you think of a squat, you know, it's hard, like, to bring yourself up slowly in a squat is really fucking difficult because the weight feels like it's going to collapse from under you. So using both styles of training works really, really well. I did it in a vlog video, training video last week where I was doing the positives, like it was 6-second positives on squats. And I think that's where the question came on my Snapchat, because people were like, oh, what's better, concentric or eccentric? It's very, very goal dependent, and also very, very specific to the sport you're playing, or if you're training for aesthetics purely. If you are a high-end sports person playing, you know, GAA, soccer, rugby, or whatever the sport is, you're obviously going to have a completely different training style to somebody that's, you know, training for aesthetics. You know, the key for you will be working through negatives and then exploding up. So mimicking things you'd be doing on a pitch, you know. So again, all of these training styles work amazingly well. Eccentric, lowering, negatives, concentric, bringing it up, explosive training, all of that, they work amazingly well. It's very dependent on what your goals are at the time. If you're purely training for aesthetics and want to look good, you want to fit into a nicer dress, you want to be able to fit into your, you know, tighter shirt or whatever it is that you want as a guy or a girl, is mix them. You know, you're going to get, studies will tell you negative training, they'll tell you eccentric training because you're going to elicit more fiber tears, and they're right, you know, you will, but the reality is it's the combination of both. Try both systems. You'll never get used to using one system, and I always say with every single training system, with every single nutritional system, so keto, intermittent fasting, meal spacings, IFYM, whatever it is, always try out different things, but just kind of stay with the ones that you know well. Like, I always use it like the analogy, like where you're like, okay, this system works, so you stay close to that system, and then you fucking reach out and try a load of other systems. You can always come back to the one that works, you know, but experiment out. You know, try different training systems, try different nutrition systems, try different supplement systems, because the reality is there is no one size fits all. You know, the reason I'm able to put out so much content and so much videos is because it's different for every single person. The answers, like, I could do a video now and I'll do the same video in 6 months' time and my answers will be different because I'll be talking to a different person, you know, or talking about different people, because that's how everything works. There is no one size fits all. It's why I will never run out of content. I will never run out of things to make videos about or make blog posts about, because there's so many different contexts. That's the fucking amazing thing about fitness, is there's so many different ways, so many different variables, so many different ways to do things, you know, and I recommend is try them all, see what works. You know, I know for a fact that certain training systems, for me, my legs will respond to high volume. I know for a fact that if I go into the 20, 30, 40, 50 rep range, my legs will blow up. That's not to say that I don't work in the 6 rep range or the 8 rep range. I just know that if I need my legs to look good for a show or a shoot or something like that, I can drop back to what I know works and they'll respond like that, you know, but I'll still experiment with other things. The same way as I know for me, you know, low carbohydrate, you know, keeping my carbs at my insulin sensitive times works amazingly well for me. I can walk around at 10% body fat and feel amazing at that, keeping with that system. You know, that's not to say that I don't try going keto, or I haven't tried intermittent fasting, or I haven't tried IFYM and all these other systems to see what they're like and see what the fuss is about and see if I can give people that ask me questions about it a bit more of an insight. It's why when people ask me questions on my Snapchat, I'm normally able to give first-hand responses, because I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this 15 years, I've tried nearly everything, you know. So the goal is think of it like this. Hold on to your systems that work and then fucking reach out and try all the other ones. You know, you can always come back to them. And I say when you find systems that work, fucking double down on them, because the reality is you found the things that work. I know my training systems that work for me. I know how to hit my legs to make them grow. I know how to hit my chest to make it grow. I know what kind of training systems and adding in finishers to stay lean. I know that response to my body. But it's from experimenting with it. It's not to say don't try the other things. So when someone asks, is eccentric better than concentric? Or is concentric better than high volume? Is high volume better than strength training? Whatever it is, try it all. You know, try it all and see what works for you. You know, that's the absolute key. That's crucial. There is no one size fits all. You can literally adapt it all. Like I tend to, in my online programs, there tends to be variables through everything. There tends to be some high volume in there, depending on the program and depending on the person's goals. There'll be explosive training in there. There may be eccentric training, concentric training. It really varies depending on the person, you know, and their specific goals. I try to include it all because the reality is it all kind of works. As long as you're doing it right, it will all work. You'll just find that some systems are better for you than others. So try them all. Hope this video helps. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be replying to comments in the next 24 hours.